We close out this busy soccer Sunday here in Chester, Pennsylvania with some USL Championship action. It's Bethlehem Steel and Charlotte Independence tonight from Talon Energy Stadium, closing out week 31 in the USL Championship season. Josh Eastern and Chris Nurse along here for this match tonight. Excited to see what we get with this young group of Bethlehem Steel and of course Charlotte Independence on the other side. But as of late, for Bethlehem, it has not been going to plan. They have lost their last two matches by a combined scoreline of 11-1. That includes a 5-0 loss at Memphis last week.
Yeah, from a coaching standpoint, it's not been the best 2 weeks for Bethlehem Steel. Conceding 11 goals and scoring just one goal doesn't seem to be very good for development nor for the success that the coaching team are having. So they're going to want to rebound from that this evening. Of course, coming towards the end of the season, they measure themselves slightly different, not necessarily by results, but more measured by how they can produce players and push them on into the first team. Charlotte, on the other hand, completely different. This is a team full of international players, players with a lot of MLS experience, veterans, and no franchise brings in that level of players to not make the playoffs. So, you know, they'll want to make a statement towards the end of the season. I'm sure they'll be reviewing who stays and who leaves at the end of the season. And of course, Coach Mike Jeffries is not a loser. He's come down from his position as GM to now take over the reins for the remainder of the season. And he's also been able to get the best out of Enzo Martinez, who found himself on Team of the Week for the first time in a long time.
And Charlotte last week getting their first win in 11 matches with a 4-0 win over Hartford Athletic at home. They will look to try to keep the momentum going here at the end of this season. But it all starts today here in Bethlehem as we close out this 2019 regular season here in October. So it's Bethlehem and it's Charlotte. We're closing out week 31 in the USL Championship lineups and first kick coming up next here from Chester. Back here at Talon Energy Stadium in Chester, Pennsylvania. The team's taking to the pitch here tonight. Bethlehem in their home blues, while Charlotte will be in their road whites here tonight. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. We will start with the home side for Bethlehem Steel. 3 changes for Brendan Burke tonight, and this is what their 11 looks like.
Yeah, a very young team. You know, we spoke about the objective that this franchise has over the course of the season. It's more about developing players and pushing them on into the senior team. Conceding 11 goals, only scoring 1 goal in their past 2 games isn't very much development. It's most certainly not developing a winning mentality. So I'm sure the coaches will want to make a change to that this evening. They want to finish the season strong, and no better than playing against a team in a similar situation, points-wise and statistically-wise in terms of the table, in Charlotte.
And on the other side for Charlotte Independence, coached by Mike Jeffries, 2 changes to this side that won 4-0 at home against Hartford.
Yeah, well, on the other hand, with Charlotte, it's been a very disappointing season. If you look at the depth and the resumes of the players that have in the team, a lot of MLS players, players with international experience. You know, Coach Jeffries is a coach himself who's been competing for championships for a number of years. according to the standards of the organization, they very much underachieved. And a lot of these players will be free agents at the end of the season. They'll be looking for new contracts. So it's important how they perform tonight.
There is a look at the goalkeeper tonight for Charlotte, Brandon Miller. And there is Bethlehem getting set to go. Philadelphia Union and NYCFC just played here a little while ago. NYCFC coming away with a 2-1 win. A couple of Bethlehem players also played in that match, in Matt Real and Anthony Fontana. But the 11 is on the pitch here tonight for Bethlehem, and we will get set to go. Bethlehem comes in not technically eliminated yet. They would have to win out and then hope for a lot of luck in their favor. But it all starts with at least getting 3 points here tonight to try to see what happens here in the latter stretch of this season.
Yeah, no, although they're not statistically eliminated, based on their current form, they're eliminating themselves, you know. You're not picking up points, you're not keeping clean sheets, you're not really competitive in games in the last couple of performances that they had. If they really have aspirations to make the playoffs, they need to make some changes, especially defensively.
So we are underway, and an early goal kick for Brandon Miller, and it is Charlotte Independence coming in off that 4-0 win over Hartford. Alex Martinez scoring a goal, Enzo Martinez scoring 2 goals, Ricardo Bocanegra also getting a goal in that match. And we were talking with Mike Jeffries, and he said basically it's nice to talk about a win again. It's the best that he thought his team played in quite some time. He thought the defensive rhythm was a little bit better, and they were good in possession as well. So we'll see if they can carry that into this match here tonight.
Yeah, and it's no surprise that that win came off the back of an outstanding performance from Enzo Martinez, who's been one of their stellar characters over the years. You know, he spent some time in the MLS. He hasn't quite hit the heights that we're used to seeing Enzo have based upon his own standards, but you know, the second he started up his performance, he made Team of the Week. The team picked up a win, so he's a key component in the Charlotte team.
And that win came on the heels of 3 straight losses in the month of September, so they were able to close the month of September with a win. And on the other side, for Bethlehem, it's been a tough stretch as of late, a 5-0 loss to Memphis last week. And we talked with Brendan Burke, and he said, well, we just started flat for a 2nd straight game. He also mentioned maybe being shorthanded with the roster and having to make some tough decisions at center back, but that is the cards that he has been dealt, and they've had to do with what they have. An early attack here for Charlotte Independence. Valentin Sabella on the ball, gunning in field, looking for some options, a dummy, and it goes right back to Bethlehem. Let's see who can get out on the front foot early in this match. Zandy in the middle. He'll distribute to this near side. It's Walter Cortez. And at center back tonight, Cole Turner. Normally he slots into a defensive midfield spot, but sliding a little bit farther back in the formation tonight. We'll see how he reacts to a new position.
At this stage of the season, it's very much about the players finding their own internal motivation for performance. You know, they're no longer in the playoff hunt, almost. It's coming towards the end of the season. You know, they're trying to put themselves in the coach's plans for the future, so that motivation has to come from inside. Of course, it's not a packed stadium, so they're not going to have the influence of the crowd behind them, but this is something that Bethlehem have been used to throughout the whole course of the season so far, so it's nothing new for them. In terms of Charlotte, as we mentioned, these players, a lot of them are very experienced. They're not the youngest, so we can't turn around and say, you know, we're just developing or growing and we have a lot of time on the hands. They have to perform now to put themselves either in this coach's mind for next season or in the plans of another coach. So they can't really afford to drop their performance this evening.
Of course, Mike Jeffries didn't start the season as head coach, but came on about midway through, and thinks that might have to do with some of the form of this team. They've tried to balance a few different things. Sabella will try to knock it ahead for Enzo Martinez, and it's knocked away. Bocanegra and Herrera will lose possession here. Throw in now for Bethlehem.
Good pass from Martinez there in the middle of the park to kickstart their attack. But we also spoke to Coach Jeffries about where Enzo was picking up the ball and where he was getting his touches throughout the course of games. And one thing that he highlighted was that although Enzo's having a lot of touches, he's having these touches in areas where they're not dangerous. And one thing that he's spoken to him about is putting himself in dangerous positions where when he's receiving the ball and having the touches, he's in a position to make things happen or to get assists or to create goals for himself. Obviously, that message hit home because the last game he was able to get himself on the score sheet and get assists. So it's a case of, you know, he's always been a coach who's been able to get the best out of Enzo over Enzo's career so far that he's had in Charlotte. And I think Coach Jeffrey's coming down and working with Enzo again has had a positive impact.
To play it over the top. Freeze will stay in goal. Opportunity here for Charlotte Independence, and the shot is blocked away. It was Chad Porch coming up from his defensive responsibilities. And that was a good save in the end by Freeze.
Yeah, Porch just needed a little bit more composure. When he gets onto the ball, his second touch is just a little bit too heavy. It allows the ball to run away from him, and the keeper come out and make blocks. Feet a little bit closer to him. He drills that across goal. I think Charlotte find themselves in the lead.
Chad Porch, just his second appearance for Charlotte Independence. He actually grew up about 45 minutes away from here in Chester in Middletown, Delaware. Used to play for Reading United. He also went to school at Delaware along with High Point. It's pretty cool to make your second start here for Charlotte, just 45 minutes from home in Middletown, Delaware. In-swinger coming here from this corner kick for Charlotte. Headed away. It's still there. Enzo Martinez on the volley. This one will bounce out for another corner kick on the other end.
Chambers doing well to close that one down.
Experienced player is James Chambers. He has been with Bethlehem for quite some time now. There's Enzo Martinez, a corner kick towards goal. It's headed on and it's in. The opening goal for Charlotte Independence. It's Aaron Mon, the center back. And it's 1-0 to the roadside. This is second goal on the season. The Dorchester, Massachusetts native gets Charlotte ahead early.
Not really sure what quite happened there. It looked like a straightforward catch for the goalkeeper. It wasn't the best delivery. It was very close to the goalkeeper's hands, but it looked like as the goalkeeper went to jump, like he had weighted boots on, he wasn't able to get up off the floor, and very easy header in the end.
Free header there at the back post. Nobody picked Mond up, number 18.
Maduro just put himself in a difficult position, made it awkward for the goalkeeper to get himself up to catch the ball, and won't get an easier header than that.
Of course, both those corner kicks were forced because of Chad Porch coming all the way downfield, down this right-hand flank. And Matt Freeze, he stayed in goal in that one as well. Sometimes you see goalkeepers come way off their line, but he decided to stay back. And
yeah, I think the keeper just had his positioning all wrong on that occasion. Maduro was...
foul will send it back here to Charlotte.
Maduro was standing in front of him to make his job difficult, which is what Maduro is there to do, make the keeper's job difficult to come out and collect that ball, and the keeper didn't adjust well enough that when the ball was delivered, he was almost stranded and unable to make any kind of challenge for it, and it was an easy header from Mound in the end.
So his second goal on the season, and already Charlotte Independence picking up right where they left off from last week against Hartford. We'll see how this young Bethlehem side responds now after going down his 7th minute goal. This is the 22nd time this season that Bethlehem has conceded the first goal. There's 2-15-4 is their record. And the other side scores first. Look there at Brendan Burke. It's good to talk to him this week. The only head coach Bethlehem has ever seen. Trying to get the best out of his squad here down the stretch. There's Ferris on the ball. It's poked away there by Hugh Roberts. He's also not from far away in Olney, Maryland. Enzo Martinez will look to start a counterattack here. He is fouled in the process.
And it must be frustrating for Coach Burke to give up such an easy goal from a set piece. It was fairly straightforward. The keeper should have been in a position where he could just come and collect that one in the air with his hands. He gets blocked because he doesn't anticipate the ball coming and doesn't anticipate, you know, Dominic Aduro's positioning, and such a simple header for Mount.
Matt Freese, the 21-year-old, making just his 7th appearance for Bethlehem this season. He's actually made 6 appearances in MLS for the Philadelphia Union when Andre Blake has been out or injured. So I think an experienced keeper, a homegrown signing from December 2018, and he's had a handful of opportunities with the Union and gets another start here tonight for Bethlehem.
And of course, young players do need to play games like these to learn and develop. And of course, when they make mistakes like that, they do learn and develop. But you know, in a competitive USL Championship, it's hard lessons to say the least.
This will be a foul, sending it back to Charlotte. And Brennan Burke did talk about that. He says it's not lost on us that we still do play some teams with in playoff contention down the stretch. They'll play Ottawa and they'll play the Charleston Battery as well the last week of the season. So those are teams that are fighting for playoff spots as well. He says his team will have to turn in some professional performances here down the stretch.
Yeah, you could understand them losing to some of the teams higher up in the table, you know, the likes of Pittsburgh, who have been outstanding this season. But you do expect to pick up points and good performances against the teams in and around you. And of course, Charlotte are only 1 place difference between Bethlehem and Charlotte in the table. This is a game they really should be looking to win and be very competitive in.
In the middle, Ferris couldn't quite get on the end of it. Willis will head it forward. Sent into some open space, but Miller off his line, and he's able to send it downfield and relieve a little bit of pressure. Zach Zandy quick to it. Galena. Chambers right in the middle.
Of course, for the players, they enjoy this time of year just a little bit more because the temperature's a little bit cooler. It allows the game to be played at a higher tempo, and they suffer a little bit less from heat exhaustion and dehydration as they do in the peak of the summer.
Coming into the box, the shot coming on, and it's saved in the end. Brandon Miller guarding that near post. First time that he's been called into action today. Axel Picasso gets that shot.
Nice strike there from Picasso. Makes a good run forward, first to the ball, settles it down with his second touch, and on the half volley, almost sneaks in past the goalkeeper at the near post.
Foul in the box, and that will be a penalty. So Bethlehem go to the spot. Robert saying, I didn't do anything, but referee Matthew France says, yes, you did, and you get a yellow card as well.
Yeah, Robert's trying to plead his innocence with the referee, but the referee's having absolutely none of it.
So now a penalty upcoming for Bethlehem. Another look at it here.
Ladies and gentlemen, yellow card caution has been issued to Charlotte.
I'm going to leave the referee to make that decision. I'm not. I don't think there's that much in it that warrants that level of a roll there from a.
We'll see who decides to take this penalty.
I think Hugh Roberts may have had a point there when he was gesticulating to the referee. For sure, I don't think it was anything malicious enough to warrant a yellow card. There is a fantastic opportunity for Bethlehem to get themselves back into the game here.
So Ferris steps up to the spot. Bethlehem 7 of 8 on penalties this year. The only penalty that was missed was against Hartford. Chambers had it saved by Frederick Douay, but Ferris will look to equalize the scoreline here tonight. Referee having to break something up here at the top of the area as well.
That little pushing and shoving can be a distraction for the goal scorer sometimes. The little delay can obviously work in the defensive team's favor.
Ferris goes for goal, and it just slips under the hands of Miller.
And it almost did work in their favor. I think Miller, he went the right direction. I think he probably should have saved that. He got enough on that to keep it out from the goal, but just slipped from underneath his hands. I think when he sees that back again, he probably thinks he should have saved that penalty.
So the Ferris penalty cancels out Aaron Mond's opening goal. So close there by Brandon Miller.
Yeah, he gets enough on it, but just not enough to push it away from the goal. It goes underneath him and into the back of the net.
These two teams a little chippy here early on the opening 14 minutes.
over the course of the season, Charlotte, of course, have averaged a little less than 1 goal per game. So we've already seen 2 goals the opening 15 minutes, so could turn out to be an entertaining game.
Well, this is a Bethlehem side that likes to score a lot, and they also concede quite a bit against. 44 goals scored, but they've given up 65 goals so far this season. Martinez coming right through the middle, looking for Herrera. And Willis eventually comes away with it for Bethlehem. Ferris coming in hard. Looks like that's Alex Martinez who went down. Talking to between Matthew Franz and Ferris.
Ferris the aggressor on this occasion. However, on the PK, he was playing the victim. I don't think anything too malicious in that either. Coach Jeffries, obviously, earlier in the week, he spoke to us that his Charlotte team had issues in both ends of the box. They hadn't been great defensively, conceding a lot of goals. I think -15 is their current goal differential, and they also hadn't been that great in the attacking box, only scoring, 31, 32 goals now over the course of the season. A goal average of less than 1 a game isn't going to be enough to get them across the playoff line. So, he's going to be looking to address both sides of the game, defensively and offensively, during the off-season to see how they strengthen for next year.
Man Sally will send it in. Couldn't quite get it over the first line of defenders. To look to come away with it, and that will be a handball against Mansally.
And if there was a situation that warranted a yellow card, most certainly that would have been it. Bethlehem are on the counter-attack. They're about to break forward, and a player stops play by utilizing their hand advantageously. That's for sure a yellow card.
You could hear Brendan Burke say, and from his technical area, there was only 1 defender left, saying that there might have been an opportunity to really spark a counter-attack, and the yellow card would be warranted.
The handball wasn't accidental. He genuinely used his hand to slow down the play so that his team could get back behind the ball.
Here's Zandy coming back the other way, trying to slip it ahead. Ferris on the ball, going all the way across. Miller got a touch to it. Now it comes out to Willis and Chambers. Open game so far. An opportunity here for Galena.
Nice pass there from Chambers.
To keep it in play. Now into the box for Ferris. Didn't quite turn. Now Cortez sends it right back in. It's headed right back out. Martinez looking upfield. So trying to switch the play. Taken right back by Bethlehem.
Bethlehem did start very slow. That's something Coach Burke had mentioned. The previous 2 games they started slow. They did start slow again this afternoon, but they've actually started to dwell into the game as the game's gone on. And now it's beginning to look more like an evenly contested affair between 2 teams who are similar in the league standings.
Chambers gives it right back to Charlotte. We'll see if they can come back the other way now. Galena able to win it back. Bethlehem might have numbers. They slip it ahead for Ferris. Quickly won back. As Roberts going to ground. Now Galena.
Well-timed tackle there from Roberts.
Another giveaway, and this might spark a counterattack the other way now for Charlotte. Sliding in and knocking that out of play. A throw in now for Charlotte.
Seeing some good defensive sliding tackles from both sides right now. The game's very open. It's going end-to-end fairly quickly. The tempo is nice. Going to be interesting to see who takes the next goal and manages to take the lead.
2 center backs tonight, Cole Turner and Nathan Harriel, technically are listed as midfielders on the roster for Bethlehem. There's Enzo. They find a window to cross the header on. Just a little bit too high. Looked like Herrera was there right at the penalty spot. Unable to test freeze and goal.
Yeah, there's a great ball there from Martinez. I think Herrera just guilty of trying to anticipate a little bit too early. Just jumped a little bit too early. Had he held his jump a little bit longer, I think he'd be able to get a little bit more power on that and direct it on goal. But He was already in the air when the ball was delivered and unable to get it down.
So goal kick here for Matt Freeze. Tell you, Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship in many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Alex Martinez. And for Enzo Martinez going to ground, unable to win it back. It's Willis now. Olivier Bizo. And for Ferris, just a little bit too far out of his reach. Eventually, Miller comes out to claim it.
Charlotte do a good job of making the field really big when they're in possession of the ball. You can see both Porcher and Mansali get really wide and really high, creating a lot of space and pockets in the middle of the park for the midfielders like Martinez and Naduro to come and pick up the ball.
The foul, as it looked like Bethlehem wanted to run away with that. Just past the 20-minute mark tonight here from Talon Energy Stadium. A goal for both sides so far. Aaron Mond from a corner kick. And it was Ferris from the penalty spot. It's their 8th penalty scored on the season after Ferris just snuck it under the arms of Brandon Miller in goal. That all happened in the opening 15 minutes. Now here's Porch. Enzo Martinez. Distribute wide for Sabella. Sabella goes to ground. He looked like he lost his footing. Cortez comes away with it. Tackle there by Enzo Martinez. Will send it right back.
In the midfield, Charlotte just needs to do a little bit better job of closing down Chambers. At the moment, he's finding pockets of space in front of the back four, and he's picking up the ball and spraying the ball forward freely without very much pressure. You know, the likes of Martinez, either of the Martinezes or Sabella or Bocanegra need to step a little bit higher on Chambers, you know, stop him playing those balls forward.
Comes into this match tonight looking for their first road win of the season. They come in 0-6-9, a -11 goal differential on the road. This has slipped ahead for Walter Cortez. The cross towards the penalty spot, headed away. Comes out for Alex Martinez. Now it's Sabella looking to work on this near side. And for Herrera, options in the middle. Enzo, one of them. Enzo still on the ball. To the end line, the cross comes, and it was nearly spilled there by Matt Freeze.
Lucky there, nice play between Herrera and Martinez.
The referee will blow his whistle for a moment. Stop play here. There is an injury back behind the play. It looks like that is Chad Porch, who is down.
And it didn't look like there was any kind of contact injury. For certainly, if it's a hamstring, that's the end of his night. You know, it's very rare that you jog off a hamstring injury. Going by his facial expressions, I think he may have pulled out a hamstring strain there. But fantastic play from Martinez here. It looks like he's enjoying the evening so far. Picking up the ball, taking on defenders, having strikes on goal. That's the Martinez we've been accustomed to seeing.
So Porch is down, and as you said, it does not look promising here for the youngster. I'm sure this was a night that he had circled on his calendar since he signed here just a few weeks ago. His second start for the club.
Displaying all the symptoms of a hamstring strain, something I know about very well. Been in that position myself a number of times. You know, that's probably going to be his season, because they tend to take a good 2 or 3 weeks before you start to feel right again. And of course, there's only 2 or 3 games left.
Porch, looks like he's holding that left hamstring. Of course, grew up just 45 minutes away from here. We'll see what the alteration now will be for Mike Jeffries.
Forces Coach Jeffries into his first change of the evening. And of course, Porch has been fairly active in these opening 25 minutes.
that early run to try to test Matt Friesen goal. He went all the way down that right side. Makes a slow walk off. So we'll see who will come on.
Charlotte Independence was probably one of the only clubs outside of the MLS that I never played for. Although I nearly did. There was one point, Coach Jeffries, we was speaking, and I almost signed for them.
Close but no cigar.
I think I ended up back in Raleigh that year.
Here is the substitution. It will be Clay Dimmick to come on. Atlanta, Georgia native, so he will come on for Chad Porch. He had a 3-month trial during the summer, and eventually signed on June 20th. So he comes in here tonight. He'll try to make an impact to this match. For Dimmick, just his 5th appearance on the season. An early throw in here for Dimmick. Enzo Martinez now. Alex Martinez, he goes down. The challenge there from Ferris. Enzo Martinez trying to put the ball in play quickly. The referee will bring play back here, and at the bottom of your screen you can see Dimmick getting a word with Jeffries here early on. Like Ferris always trying to battle for the ball. We've seen him around the ball plenty so far tonight.
It'll be interesting to see if Bethlehem start to attack on that right side a little bit more. Dimmick just 24 years of age, you know, not that experienced. You know, it's going to be an area now that Bethlehem want to test and see, you know, if he's up to the challenge.
Sent back for Miller. One of 2 goalkeepers played this season for Charlotte Independence. Curtis Anderson, the other, the loanee from Manchester City, no longer with Charlotte. Now here's Cortez, trying to slip it inside for Ferris. He's cut out there by Roberts. Dumped forward for Herrera. That'll be a foul against Alex Martinez.
Yeah, Alex Martinez, just a little nudge in the back there of Zandy.
The final playoff spots are at stake October 9th when Wednesday Night Soccer returns to ESPN News. Tune in at 8 Eastern as Birmingham Legion FC fights for the last spot in the East, while upset-minded Hartford Athletic looks to crush those hopes in front of their home faithful. Catch all the drama unfold Wednesday, October 9th at 8 Eastern on ESPN News.
Great pass there from the center back through the middle of the park.
And that might be one of the advantages of having natural midfielders play a little bit farther back as you get those type of passes.
Yeah, I think it was Turner who played the pass. He's playing as a left-sided center back, but he's actually right-footed. Saka just losing his foot in there, but fantastic pass.
But then, of course, a little bit more inexperience when it comes to defending, but that's all part of the learning curve.
The referee called the foul against Bocanegra. It's going to be Chambers on this free kick.
Might he fancy a shot at goal here?
I think it's a little too far out.
See what the Irishman has up his sleeve here. Setting up that 2-man wall. They'll take it short. Here's Zandy. The threat gone now from that free kick. Actually won back here by Charlotte, so nothing doing from the free kick opportunity. Charlotte will try to come down the left side now. Switch of field here for Enzo Martinez. Timmick making the overlapping run.
Just guilty of overrunning the ball a little bit there, Martinez.
Going for Ferris to try to chase it. Can he keep it in play? He cannot. Going to turn on the afterburners there, but he couldn't quite reach it.
He would have done ever so well had he managed to get to that ball and keep it in play. Just a little bit overhit there, but Charlotte need to be careful of the counter-attacks there when you have Ferris able to break away at that speed.
Ferris has battled some hamstring injuries this season. Back into the lineup.
Cortez fired that ball into Chambers there. He did well to keep it under control.
It's eventually a throw in here for Bethlehem. So we're right at the half-hour mark.
Martinez and Chambers getting into it here.
Martinez
needs to be careful.
Yeah.
When you dip the chin and nudge your head towards, there you go.
And
the referee made no mistake. He saw it.
That is a red card there for Alex Martinez.
Very silly. You can even see the referee's facial expressions. He's seen it. Why did you bother?
So Charlotte have already had to make one sub in this match due to injury, and now they will be down a man for the final hour as Alex Martinez sees red and James Chambers will see yellow. We're coming here in the 31st minute.
And there's not really any denying it. You see the two players head to head. You know the second that Martinez dips his chin and nods his head forward what his intentions are. And you know, you're not going to get away with that if the referee's 2 yards away from him and he sees it.
Anytime you do that, I mean, you're asking for it.
There's no accident. No, he didn't even look to see where the referee was. You know, there's never an excuse for it. But if the referee's 2 yards away from you watching and you make that kind of action, what do you expect him to do?
So Alex Martinez, that's the last we've seen of him tonight. Looks like you can see kind of those two banks of four, and then the one out-and-out striker at the top is Herrera.
And I imagine Coach Jeffries is so frustrating at going down a man through such circumstances. Absolutely no need for it. There was nothing in the challenge, nothing in the game that warranted that kind of action so far. It's been a fairly even contested between two similar teams. And now, for the remaining 2/3 of the game, Charlotte will play a man down.
I'm sure he'll take some time at halftime to address the situation Charlotte is under, but if they can get to the half still at 1-1, that'd be pretty good here for Charlotte.
What's going to be interesting to see if Bethlehem are able to adjust and take advantage of that man advantage that they have. They probably can afford to defend with one less defender. They can push a defender forward into the midfield, and they can start to move the ball a bit quicker and expose spaces. The disadvantage for Charlotte is, you know, the spaces are going to be bigger because they have less people to defend.
Fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce the Championship and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
Charlotte have really imploded on themselves. The games that they started so well, they took an early lead. They allowed Bethlehem back into the game, and now they've allowed Bethlehem to finish the game with a man advantage. Bethlehem have to be a little bit careful because often in these circumstances, the referee can look to even things up by distributing a red card to the opposite team. But I imagine to see the possession stats now heavily turn in favor of Bethlehem for the remainder of this half.
See how Bethlehem can start to take advantage here before halftime. As you kind of mentioned, it's not just Charlotte playing with 10 men, it's now Bethlehem. How do you attack that 10-man side?
Yeah, they can afford for one of the midfielders. You know, you have Turner at the back, who's more of a midfielder, so the opportunity is there now for him to join in with the midfielders, take space, move the ball quickly. As the game progresses, Charlotte, obviously, they're going to run out of energy because they're playing with one less player, so it's harder work for the players on the pitch. See the two players here head to head. Martinez dips his chin and nudges towards him. There's no way that referee's close enough to see it directly. Look, you can see his facial expression. No doubt about it. Red card. Early shower for Martinez.
You can read Martinez's lips. Are you kidding me?
It was almost one of them ones where the referee, he didn't want to give the card, but he was like, why did you made it so obvious? There's no discretion in it. You did it right in front of me. What else am I supposed to do? The referee's only doing his job in that circumstance.
So the 5th red card of the season for Charlotte Independence. Actually, Bethlehem have seen the most red cards this season with 8. So a team, I guess you could say, used to playing or playing against a shortened side.
Yep, as you mentioned, Bethlehem are no angels in themselves. They played with 10 men a number of times, so I wouldn't be surprised to see this game end up being 10-10 on the field.
We saw an MLS match today. FC Cincinnati went down to 9 men, but were able to hold out for a 0-0 draw with DC United. There's Sabella. I feel like Charlotte now has to take advantage of more and more of these attacks. They've spent some good time on the ball, even though they are down a man.
And it's very difficult, as you mentioned. They've dropped to 4-4-1 with Herrera being the lone man occupying the space up top. Very difficult for him alone against 4 defenders.
There's Oduro. Send a cross in, looking for that back post. Headed back into the middle, but nobody there. Bethlehem can play out of the back here. Sandy looking for some space. Roberts was tracking over to knock it out of play. The referee very particular where he wants this throw in to occur. So under 10 minutes to go until halftime. Aaron Mond scoring the first goal. Ferris scoring the equalizer from the penalty spot. Well, Charlotte now down to 10 men.
Key for Bethlehem is going to be, can they find the feet of Zandy in behind the midfielders where he can make things happen. So far we've seen success when they've gone down the sides with the likes of Ungolini and Faris chasing balls in behind, but in terms of building up play, now they have that extra man. You know, can they find the ball into Zandy's feet?
Herrera trying to knock it forward for Oduro. Willis will eventually come away with it after Turner got a touch to it. And now Chambers right through the middle, able to distribute for Galena. Galena cutting to his right. Galena into the middle, lays it off for Ferris. His shot is blocked away. Really good defending there by Charlotte tracking back.
Yeah, good defending there from Charlotte. Galena did fantastic. He put a few of the defenders to their knees, but was unable to get the yard to get the strike off on goal, and last-ditch block. Was able to keep Bethlehem off from getting their second goal of the evening.
And we talked to Brennan Burke this week about Galena, and he said he's very excited for where he could end up. A very promising player, featured in the 20 under 20 list for the USL Championship and League One. There's the corner kick, swung in, Miller off his line, able to make the catch.
And that's what should have happened from the first corner kick that Charlotte actually scored from. Should have been very similar. Keeper coming off and collecting. I think that was Mound who was able to make that block from Faris on that counter-attack just now. Mound obviously who got the goal to put Charlotte into the lead, having a big impact in both boxes.
Dimick trying to track it down, but Cortez tracking over, able to usher it out of play.
Now you can clearly see Charlotte have dropped to a 4-4-1 formation here.
See how Herrera can get service throughout this match, but you feel like their best opportunities will be on the counter.
The space is there. You can see here Turner on this side. When the ball comes, he can literally drive into the midfield like a midfielder and give them an extra number rather than them staying with 4 players at the back against just 1 attacker. You know, they need to move the ball and one of the defenders step into the midfield and give them that overload. If they're going to utilize that man advantage, of course.
Of course, this Bethlehem side has not been good defensively in the past 2 weeks, giving up 11 goals in 2 matches, included 6 at Tampa Bay and 5 at Memphis. Foul right at midfield. So we're back to Charlotte.
Herrera and Cortez clashing.
So looking to send Dimmick down this near side. Dimmick, well done to keep it in play. Looking for Herrera in the box. Through the legs, the cross. It's still there, opportunity for Charlotte. At the back post, it's finally cleared away. Bocanegra looked to be crashing in from that far side.
Fantastic defending again then from Bizot.
Looks like there is a player down. Another look at it, the whole sequence here. Look at that little nutmeg.
Fantastic play from Herrera there to create the opportunity. The ball's just dropping for Bocanegra and Bizot just manages to get a block on it, prevent him from getting a clean strike. But that was great play from Herrera. You thought he'd lost the opportunity, he managed to regain possession of the ball, nutmegs the defender and then just hangs it up at the back post.
So Bizot being looked at. Might Brendan Burke have something to think about here if he can't continue? Cameroonian defender. See his help back to his feet now.
Hopefully he's able to shake this off for the remaining 5 minutes and give the staff a chance to look at him at halftime. He immediately goes down after that challenge and doesn't get back up, so seems to be in some discomfort when he's walking on the side over there.
So at least for the moment, it's 10 v 10. He looks to try to jog it out there on the far touchline.
Looks like Chambers may drop into the back line until he comes back onto the pitch.
Switch this field here for Dimmick. Won back by Bethlehem, and they're charging forward. Ferris trying to get ahead to Galena, and they forgot something. Now Ferris.
A little bit careless with that pass, Ferris. They were breaking at speed.
Into the far side, whipping across all the way through. Here's Galena. Still Galena on it. Now into the middle, looking for Willis. Might it fall for Chambers? It's still there. The shot, it's deflected off of Zandy. Actually falls here for Cortez.
You can see Chambers really wanted that one to fall to him. Defender did well just to get back to block him, prevent him from having a clean strike, and that's a wild delivery there from Cortez.
The idea was there, the delivery was not.
Completely mishit that one.
You could see that opportunity with Ferris, Willis, and Galena. They were charging forward, and just that slight deflection really broke up that entire move forward. I believe it was Roberts who got a touch to it, and it just clipped his heel.
Chambers doing a good job winning the ball in the midfield. And sadly draws the foul.
There's Picasso stepping in the way. It's been an interesting first half. An early goal from Charlotte, answered back with a penalty. And a red card given to Alex Martinez.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting halftime team talk for both teams. I don't think Bethlehem has been able to capitalize on that man advantage at all so far since Charlotte have gone down to 10 men. You know, I think that's going to be something the coach is going to want to address and see how they can adjust their formation tactically to take advantage of that. On the other hand, Charlotte need to adjust their tactic to see how they're going to see out this game with a man down.
Knocked out for a corner kick. Nearing stoppage time here at Talon Energy Stadium.
And of course, this is where Charlotte took the lead. It was from a corner delivery. You can see Adura again, standing in front of the goalkeeper to make that area difficult for him to come and claim that ball in the air.
There will be 4 minutes at the end of this first 45 minutes. Still a decent amount left. Comes all the way through. Chambers got up for it. And also does come a foul. Send it back to Bethlehem.
Yeah, I think the referee's actually called this foul against Adura in front of the keeper. He's kept a closer eye on him this time, and seems that he's been infringed. Of course, most of this 4 minutes of extra time is actually going to come from an injury that took place for Porch, I believe, the hamstring injury. Where the majority of this stoppage time came from.
There's something left in this first half for Bethlehem. Here's Galena. And for Ferris, and he gets it right back. Galena does, but it looks like the flag up on the far side, and or offside. It will go back to Charlotte.
Nice link-up play between Galena and Ferris there.
Well, we asked Mike Jeffries to sum up this season. He said it's been a bit strange, and I think that's how you can maybe qualify this first 45 minutes as well.
Yeah, the players have done well to create their own atmosphere to a certain degree. You know, it's been a fairly competitive game. You know, it's been a little bit chippy. There's been, you know, a little bit of everything so far in the opening half. You can't really tell who's going to go on to win this game, despite Charlotte being down a man. Bethlehem haven't found any way to take advantage of it. And you could argue that Charlotte have probably been just as dangerous with 10 men as they were with 11.
There's Ariel sliding in to knock away that through ball. Now here's Cole Turner.
See, look, here is where the defender, Turner, can just join in as a midfielder and bring this ball forward rather than just trying to play it when there's 20 yards of space ahead of him. Join in in the midfield and create that overload, be an extra person.
So Duro ahead for Herrera. Turner, well done, and can he keep it in play? He cannot. It's a throw-in for Charlotte. Willis looking for space for Zandy. Picasso on the far side. Picasso goes to ground, and Solly committing that foul. It's a free kick here for Bethlehem.
I actually thought Picasso was he was tricking himself there. He ended up tripping over the ball. His tricks didn't really come off as he might have imagined, and I think he's very fortunate for the referee to give him a free kick on that occasion.
It helped him out in the end.
The ball gets tangled in between his feet, and man sadly slightly catches him, but I think Picasso actually tripped himself on this occasion.
Either way, it will be a free kick here for Bethlehem. Chambers stands over it.
Chambers, who has very good delivery, good opportunity here to see if Faris can get himself on the score sheet again just before half time.
Ball played low. Opportunity here. Kick save and a beauty by Brandon Miller. It was almost on for Bethlehem as they look for the go-ahead goal.
There was definitely an opportunity there for Willis to get himself on the score sheet. He just swings and completely misses the ball.
Forward again, looking for Ferris. He chested down for Zandy, but Referee says he used his hand, and Charlotte off to the races the other way. We're through the 4 minutes.
Ferris has been a handful for the Charlotte defense to deal with in this opening half. Whether it's been making runs in behind or just being a physical presence and using his body. He's had a decent opening first half.
So that does it here for the first 45 minutes from Chester, Pennsylvania. Score 1-1 as we head to the locker room, and it should be an interesting team talk for both of these sides. Here are the two goal scorers, Ferris on one side and Mond on the other. So 45 minutes down, 45 to go. Charlotte down to 10 men. The score line, nothing to split these two sides. We'll come back and take you around the USL Championship during halftime here on ESPN+. Back here at Talon Energy Stadium, halftime between Bethlehem Steel and Charlotte Independence. Another busy night around the USL Championship last night. Let's go check out the top highlights.
His lone tally in a 2-1 victory early in the season. Flicked by Kelly, back post, Novoa! Jose, good serve. And to it, goal number 2. And that belongs to Carl Wimet. Trying to get that left foot, goes right side instead. And there's goal number 11 for Tyler Pasher.
He gets set. Evan Laurel, and he denies it. He roll back in. First time, yes. Second time, no. And how about North Carolina FC? He played for George Kiefer at USF. Kiefer now top man at NC State, where Nasby Abadawi played. Abadawi! Oh! Cristo! And how about North Carolina FC? 2-0. Abadawi to Cristo! And there it is. Final score. North Carolina FC 2. New York Red Bulls 2-0.
Nico Brett looking for a clean dozen goals this year. Brett sends it by Castanera. Stoppage time begins in the first half with a Riverhound goal. Ball lofted across for Atlanta. Header in! Equalizing goal, Dacus! 1-1. Atlanta grabs a point in Pittsburgh.
Through the legs of a defender. Man goes down. Fisher not clean, getting it away from danger. A shot, another one is blocked. Still work to be done for this Charleston back line. Asiadu delivers a dangerous ball. Kuzminski with a two-handed punch. Culbertson takes it on the half volley. And there it is, full time for the Magic City tonight. A 0-0 scoreless draw between Birmingham Legion and Charleston Battery keeps each side's playoff hopes intact.
Sent in again. He's knocked down towards the top of the D. Making the move, faking the shot. Now firing and scoring with the left foot. Magnus Rasmussen. And Louisville City gets the jump. They have a 1-0 lead. Hilton does go short with it. Now it's served in. Hubbard punches it away. The whistle sounds, and Louisville City FC come into St. Louis and get a 1-0 road win.
Small scores his 10th goal of the season. and Rio Grande Valley goes up 1-0. Muhammad. Switch fields again, but a poor cross from Muhammad. Good work out though. Nice recovery from Hamilton. Hamilton with the header and the equalizer. Sam Hamilton, out of the University of Denver, ties this game in Albuquerque. And there is the final whistle. This match somehow ends in a 1-1 draw.
Forrester in the middle now, gets around a few defenders. Forrester with the outside of the right foot. What a strike by Harry Forrester. It's the opening goal for Orange County. Maybe here's another one for OC, and it's into the bottom right corner. It's a goal for Joe Amico. That might see OC to the finish line tonight, 2-0 to the home side.
And Fleming collects. He'll get the ball to Ledbetter. The left back will curl it in. It goes back post, and Phoenix has the opener in the 4th minute. It's Kevon Lambert with his 3rd goal of the season, and just like that, the visitors out in front. Now here's Hurtado, goes on the ground in front of Wozinski, and Calixtro is there to equalize in the 24th minute, a 5th goal for the 18-year-old. Finds Calistri, who gets Asante on the run forward. Smith trying to track back. Late to get there. This ball rolls through Oranstill's legs, and Ben Spencer puts the visitors back out in front in the 35th minute.
To Sousa. Faraday. It's been a revelation. Surges to the back post, headed on frame! Is it over the line? Yes. Should be an own goal. It is goal. It is given, and Las Vegas is out in front. A long way to go. Gomez trying to pull it down. And we'll cut to his right side. What a move, and it's level at 1. Sosa. And what a shot, it works anyway! On the overlap, Garcia Lopez, Para, he shoots and scores! In stoppage time in the first half. It's the wager over at Plaza Hotel and Casino. We've had 3 Plaza goals tonight. Can it be 4 here late on? Yeah! It can be! 4-2, and Las Vegas is going to collect all 3 tonight. Long-range effort, oh, that's spectacular! From distance, and it's a goal! That's a great save, Van Oekel. That's it for Athletic!
Hamilton back out wide. Chance to put this in the penalty area. Chance, a goal! Devin Sandoval brings them to their feet in Albuquerque. A minute to play. Dia puts it in. Definitely headed away. Shot comes in. It's 2-2. Oh, can you believe it? From 2-0 down, Phoenix are level. Making the run, Mo Hernandez, edge of the box. Hernandez, great move, gets free. Hernandez gives SAFC the lead.
I told you the big man was feeling it tonight.
Low into the middle.
Oh, good shot.
Goes right, gets the shot away, score! Nowhere to go for Lorendi.
Trying to set up a shot, and it finds the corner. We're level at 2, and all of a sudden, game on here in Tucson. Puts this in the middle, looking for Ramos. Bingo! It's off the hands of Hara and in. The opening goal for Toronto FC 2.
Moafe lost it. Boateng on the run. Boateng back in the net. Charles Boateng is first in league play.
Send it in. Headed away, couldn't get by the first man. Bermudez might come away with it, and he does! And there's nobody in goal! Greenville are going to score, and they're going to the playoffs! Greenville and Chris Bermudez. Some news and notes from around the USL Championship. A battle in the East, still a battle in the West as well, but a couple of teams punching their postseason tickets. North Carolina and Orange County into the playoffs last night.
Yeah, for sure, North Carolina is a team that you'd expect to see in the playoff hunt. Naz Abadawi coming back, proving to be a big acquisition for them in the closing stages of the season. Going to be very interesting.
As we take a look at this top 10 in the East, North Carolina right there in 7th place, and you kind of have that gap between 7th and 8th, but from there on up, it's really anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, and you have, some very successful teams like Tampa Bay Rowdies in there. Nashville have been fantastic this season. Pittsburgh have been fantastic. Of course, Martin Rennie with the Indy 11 have been fantastic. Could be anybody's postseason championship.
We take a look at the scoreboard from yesterday. What sticks out to you on this page?
Indy coming back 3-0 after going through a patch of 4 games without a win is a very good indication that they're coming back to form at the right time for the playoffs. Of course, Carolina, right time of form for the playoffs, and Pittsburgh, they've been fantastic throughout the course of this season.
And some sad news from the USL Championship this week. Promise Isaac, a player for Austin Bold, passing away. Promise Isaac was 31. Back here in Chester at Talon Energy Stadium, 1-1 between Bethlehem Steel FC and Charlotte Independence. Let's get into our first half highlights. Bethlehem and Charlotte, and this game has been pretty wide open. Both teams going back and forth in this opening 45 minutes, but the first opportunity would come from the roadside.
Yeah, this was Porch early on. Spoke here, his touch was just a little bit too heavy here, allowed the keeper to come down and close it down.
And Porch would eventually come off with what we presume to be a hamstring injury. He came off early on in this match, but this was the opening goal. It was Aaron Mond.
Yeah, we spoke about the delivery. Looked like a straightforward catch for the goalkeeper. However, he found himself stranded, frozen, 1-0 Charlotte.
You can see Oduro maybe trying to block him out of the way. And then on the other end, this was the penalty. Ferris going down in the box.
Dubious penalty decision. I don't think there was that much in it. Charlotte can feel a little bit hard done by. Ferris made no mistake putting this one into the back of the net.
Just under the hands there of Brandon Miller, but enough pace behind it for Ferris to equalize the scoreline at that moment. And then tempers start to flare just a little bit. Anytime you put your head on somebody else, you're likely to see a red card.
Yeah, Chambers and Martinez coming head-to-head here. You know, it's all good going head-to-head and talking and exchanging words, but once he dips his chin and nods his head forward, he leaves the referee no choice but to send him off with a red card.
And this was another opportunity. Galena coming forward, cutting to his right foot, cutting all the way across, but Ferris, the shot in the end, blocked by the goal scorer Mond.
Nice through pass from Chambers to shut Galila down, but fantastic block there from Mond. He's been magnificent in both boxes. He got the goal. He's blocking shots at the other end. He's having a fantastic evening.
Take a look at our first half stats. The shots fairly even across the board. The possession stats, though, Bethlehem has that advantage, and with Charlotte going down to 10 men, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in the second half as well.
Yeah, we expected to see Bethlehem have the possession with Charlotte having a man down, but the possession doesn't mean anything if they're not able to convert it into goals and goal-scoring opportunities.
As we get set for this second half, Josh Easter and Chris Nurse back here with you. Looking forward to see if we can find a winner in this one tonight, or if there will be nothing to split these two sides. But we have 45 minutes to figure that out, and it will be Charlotte still with 10 men after that red card to Alex Martinez. Looks like Jorge Herrera ready to get going here in this second half.
And for two teams with not that much to play for in terms of the table, it's been a fairly entertaining first half. We've had goals, we've had a little bit of dive and a little bit of acting, we've had red cards, we've had yellow cards, we've had penalty kicks.
Can't ask for much more.
We've had a little bit of everything in the opening half.
Second half underway here from Talon Energy Stadium. Of course, this is the nightcap after the Union and NYCFC went at it this afternoon on decision day in MLS. A few fans sticking around to see the end of this one. Here's the first real attacking opportunity for Charlotte here in the second half. It's Sabella on the near side. And now Enzo Martinez in the middle. Enzo Martinez coming off a brace last week against Hartford. To use that space on the far side for Dimmick making the run, but Cortez got there first. Dimmick, the first half substitute after Chad Porch came off.
In terms of that 4-4-1 that looks like Charlotte's adopted, it looks like Martinez and Bocanegra are going to occupy the center of park. It looks like Sabella's gone on to the left-hand side, and Adura is going to play on the right-hand side of midfield, and Herrera is going to occupy the top on his own. Well,
Mike Jeffries talked to us this week about not really having a consistent groove offensively. Just haven't really found that consistency all season long, and looks like they'll still be searching for that here today unless they can find something here down a man. There's Mansali. They find Herrera. There's Turner getting up for it. There's Galena. Head for Zandy. He gets it right back. Still making the run. It looked like the jersey was pulled, and it will be a free kick here for Bethlehem.
Yeah, I think the referee got this one right. Galena puts the burners on this left-hand side of the field, plays the 1-2, and he's leaving Dimmick way behind. He has a little tug on his shorts and pulls him down, and I think the referee makes the right decision in the end.
So a free kick upcoming for Bethlehem. Oh, look at it here.
See that change of speed there. You just see the tug on the shirt.
I think he knew the whole way that eventually he was going to be called for that foul, but the referee waited just a moment to see if advantage would be played. And now it's a set piece opportunity here for Bethlehem.
And we're going to see Cortez deliver this one into the box.
And towards that back post, Picasso back into the middle, looking for Zandy. To the end line, turning Mansali around towards the back post. Willis was there, he couldn't direct the header on frame.
Just unable to nod that one down. He's all on his own in the box. Nobody near him. All he had to do was direct it down and on target, and he would have been on the score sheet. Fantastic play from Zandy. I thought he was going to have the volley first time himself at the edge of the box, but it's a let off here for Charlotte.
Willis was recently called into the Jamaican national team for their Nations League matches back in September.
Chambers was also just behind Willis on the header. Had he called him off and Willis left it, he was dropping at the perfect height for Chambers just to nod that one into the back of the net.
It's also another spot that Charlotte has to be tuned in on in terms of being down a man on set piece defending, I think. Willis, we've seen him all over this midfield. Bright young player. He make his both at the club level and for his country as well.
Yeah, very comfortable in possession. We've seen him pop up in the middle of the park. We've seen him pop up on the flanks. We've seen him pop up for set pieces. You know, he has a good stature.
There's Andy getting into the box. Roberts able to fend him off.
Bethlehem, of course, they'll be happy to see Enzo Martinez picking up the ball in these positions far away from goal where he's not that dangerous or threatening.
Bocanegra in the middle. Next man Sally as they look to come forward. Trying to find that through ball. Here's Jorge Herrera cutting back to his right foot. Still Herrera going for goal, and it's right at Matt Freese.
It's good play there from Herrera. He's done ever so well because he's up there on his own. He's timed his run perfectly. He's kept the ball in possession for his team. They've just taken a little too long to go up and support him, but he's done the best that he can in that situation, trying to get himself half a yard, get a shot off on target. Good play from Herrera.
Herrera, one of the leading scorers on this Charlotte team with 6 goals. Maduro, the leader, with 7. See how Bethlehem to maybe be patient on the ball, up a man, trying to find those extra gaps of space in between defenders. It's a foul called against Axel Picasso. Sabella. Herrera was making the run and said he'll come into the middle. Couldn't quite find Bocanegra. There's Chambers. This ball's put out for a throw-in. Sabella was really noticed by this Charlotte side coming from the U.S. Open Cup. The Florida Soccer Soldiers making a run before eventually going out to North Carolina FC. But it was the Florida Soccer Soldiers actually knocking off Charlotte Independence in the early rounds of that competition back in May.
Yeah, Soccer Soldiers most certainly a team not to be underestimated. They had a fantastic run in the Open Cup last year. I know the early qualifications have just begun, and I know that we are looking to replicate that again this year.
Of course, that'll get going for USL League One and Championship sides back in May of 2020. Trying to find Herrera. This will be a foul called against Charlotte's number 10.
Herrera just helping Harriel back to his feet there.
About 8 minutes gone, still looking for first real sustained attack for either of these sides. There's an early chance on a header from Giovanni Willis. We close out this week 31 in the USL Championship. This time a free kick sends it back to Charlotte.
And again, we've not really seen that extra man be utilized as much as you think Bethlehem may have been able to use them in the opening stages of this second half. Charlotte have done a good job of staying disciplined and tight and compact out of possession.
There's Chambers looking to advance it. From that far side now, coming into the middle, a little bit too far behind Zandi. Picasso. A one-time ball from Bizo towards the back post. Maduro eventually comes away with it. And for Herrera, this allows Bethlehem to get some more blue jerseys back in defense.
Miss-hit pass there from Martinez. When they're down a man, they just need to keep it simple. The last thing they want to do is work so hard to win back possession of the ball and then give it back to Bethlehem needlessly. They're going to have to be patient in their build-up play. They're going to have to stay tight, disciplined, organised and compact for the remaining 35 minutes of the game. I think if they remain like that, they could possibly steal something out of this game and maybe leave with the points, because Bethlehem haven't adjusted well to capitalise upon that man advantage that they have right now, despite maintaining a lot of the possession.
As Willis advances it for Galena. Cutting inside. Ishi Galena. Zandy plays it wide for Bizo. And Picasso gets it right back on the give and go. Back for Zandy. This one knocked out of play. It did take a deflection off of Zandy and will be a goal kick.
Good last-ditch interception there. Some nice 1-2 play between Picasso and Zandy there. Mound again coming up big in the box with an interception at the right time.
The final playoff spots are at stake October 9th when Wednesday Night Soccer returns to ESPN News. Tune in at 8 Eastern as Birmingham Legion fights for the last spot in the East, while upset-minded Hartford Athletic looks to crush those hopes in front of the home faithful. Catch all the drama unfold Wednesday, October 9th at 8 Eastern on ESPN News.
And you'd expect Birmingham to be able to go and pick up a win at Hartford, who have been very unimpressive this season. If they were to get a win at Hartford, it would be a big spoiler.
We'll see coming down the stretch who can lock down those final spots in the East. It's coming down to it, much like it is out west. Both of these sides could potentially play a role in maybe upsetting a few different sides. Ball played into the corner. It'll go out for a goal kick.
Martinez just sending the ball into the corner. They thought Herrera was going to make the run. However, they weren't quite on the same page on this occasion. But that's the kind of instances where Charlotte works so hard to win back possession of the ball. They don't want to give it away. So they have to take a little bit more care with their passing.
All played over the top. Picasso looks to bring it down. Mansali, they're defending. Eventually finds an outlet with Bocanegra.
Nice ball there from Chambers to Picasso. Just demonstrating his range of passing there. 60-yard pass upfield onto the head of Picasso. He's just unable to get it settled down, but nice ball there from Chambers.
I've seen him a few times tonight. Gonna pull the strings there in that midfield for Bethlehem. Him and Willis, who's on the ball now. Enzo Martinez. Here's Enzo Martinez once again, looking for Oduro. Couldn't quite find Dimmick, who was making that run down the right flank. Charlotte down a man after Alex Martinez got a red card back in the first half. At about the 30-minute mark. It's been close to a half hour that they've been down a man, but still able to keep this at a 1-1 score line. Enzo Martinez. Lee Dimmick. Throw and one by Bethlehem. And last night, OKC Energy were in a very similar position against Orange County. They went down a man in the first half, but OKC did not register a shot. Here tonight, Charlotte have shown that they have been able to at least come forward a little bit.
This is the problem Bethlehem are having. They're moving the ball very slowly. It's not going to disposition Charlotte moving the ball that slowly. If they're able to move the ball quickly from side to side, the spaces will open up and that man advantage will start to show. This is the first time we've seen Turner actually bring the ball forward and join in the midfield and give them that man advantage. But the passing is too slow to allow them to create any space and openings. They've got to move the ball quicker.
There's Chambers. They do just that. Eventually fall back to him.
Quicker decision-making, crisper passing, cleaner passing. Charlotte doing a good job of getting all 9 bodies back behind the ball. Bethlehem is just taking too long to move the ball to break them down.
There's Mansali. Bocanegra through the middle. Now it's Oduro as he distributes wide. Dimmick. Enzo Martinez again.
Difficult one for Martinez because he's seeing a lot of the ball, but again, as Coach Jeffries mentioned this week, the areas where he's seeing the ball is not really threatening for the opponents.
Cross deflected away, and Bethlehem might be able to come away with this. Galena ahead for Chambers. Trying to knock it ahead for Ferris. He gets on the end of it, gets taken down, but the ref will point to the corner and deeming that a clean challenge.
I'm not sure. I have to wait to see the replay on this one, but I believe if it's gone out of play, I think Galena or Farris, I believe Farris would have been the last one to touch. I don't think the defender got the last touch on the ball. Nice pass from Chambers. Farris is the one who gets the last touch on the ball, so it's either a penalty or it's a goal kick. You see that last touch on the ball there comes from Farris, so if the referee's going to make any decision, it has to be either it's a penalty or a goal kick. He's got that one wrong, and I think that was a big let-off for Charlotte there.
Well, we thought the penalty in the first half could have gone either way, and I think that was a very similar situation. Charlotte, the benefactors of that, and the corner kick not able to be put to good use. Galena trying to find that through ball once again and taken away. Enzo Martinez able to slip away from a few defenders. Go right over the top. Looking for Herrera, trying to get in behind, but Freeze off his line and able to collect it.
Difficult playing the long ball to Herrera. He's 60 yards away from the midfielders, and even if he gets onto that ball, he's all alone. You know, they need to be patient and build up top so that when the ball gets into Herrera, he's got support from midfielders, allowing time for them to join the play. When they play the long 60-yard pass, it's a long time before anybody's able to get up there and support him.
Willis. For Bizo.
This is where, you know, it may look fantastic on the possession, the percentage of possession, but Bethlehem aren't doing anything productive with the possession. The passing is so slow and lethargic and pedestrian. You know, Charlotte just moving side to side, keeping good shape and staying disciplined, and it's not threatening them. If they actually move the ball quickly with good crisp passing, they'll be able to take advantage of it. But right now, it's like a training exercise almost, the tempo that they're moving the ball at.
Eventually lose it, and we will get a substitution in the meantime.
Charlotte's second substitution.
It will be Jake Arman, the midfielder from Freehold, New Jersey. He will come on while Valentin Sabella will be the one that is sacrificed here tonight. The sub coming in the 64th minute. Arman comes on to make his 13th appearance on the season. Sometime earlier this year with a quad injury, but back into the lineup here for Mike Jeffries. We'll look to get forward here. And Sally. Able to win a throw-in.
Nice play in the middle there from Bocanegra.
He is on the ball once again. Scored his first goal of the season last week against Hartford. 4-0 win for Mike Jeffries' side. Their first one in 11 matches. Their first win of the month of September as well. And first points at that as well. about 25 minutes to go here from Chester. The 2 goals that came early on in the first half. The header coming from Aaron Mond, and of course the penalty from Ferris. Since then, opportunities haven't really been there for either side, especially in this second half.
Yeah, and you almost sense a cautious approach from both teams, more to the mentality of don't lose rather than who can push on and get the win.
All played over the top. Cortez will track this down. Now here's Zandy. Zach Zandy dribbling into the middle. Zandy will try to tee one up. The shot's blocked. It comes away to Enzo Martinez. And now here's Bocanegra.
I think it was Mound again. They're coming up big with the block.
Here's Armin. Armin still continuing this run. And the flag waved by the AR on the far side. Free kick here for Charlotte in the attacking half. Let's see if Charlotte can make this one count.
They've most certainly shown resilience. Charlotte have won 0 games on the road this season. You know, if there's any game you're going to expect them to lose on the road, it's going to be when they're down to 10 men. But they've remained competitive in this game since they've gone down to 10 men. If they're able to steal a win here in Bethlehem, you know, it'd be a good signal of the impact that Coach Jeffries has had. You know, I think they've had a little bit of a positive uptake since he's taken over again. I think you can see the character, maybe, you know, the spirits of the players a little bit lifted. He knows the franchise well. He knows many of these players well, and they know what he expects from them.
Now Mansally to swing this in. See what the service is here from the left back. Right into the middle. Good opportunity coming, and a goal for Charlotte Independence. It's the other center back, Hugh Roberts. And Charlotte Independence, a go-ahead goal here in the 68th minute. What a tremendous free kick from Abdoulaye Mansally.
Fantastic delivery there from Mansally. Just leaves it to be attacked by the centre-back. Roberts makes no mistake. Just gets the slightest of glancing touches off it into the bottom corner. Leaves the keeper with no chance. And we spoke about Charlotte winning 0 games away from home this season. They're down to 10 men away from home. They haven't won a game away from home all season. Can tonight be their night?
He might speak it into his existence here, as they now have a lead with about 20 minutes to go. So Hugh Roberts scoring his 3rd goal on the season, the former Pittsburgh Riverhound. Must like the state of Pennsylvania here, albeit on the other side. A 2-1 to Charlotte here with about 20 minutes to go, and now it's Bethlehem who are up a man, and they will need to find an equalizer.
And we spoke about Bethlehem, you know, having the better of the possession, but it will actually mean nothing if this result were to remain how it is. Charlotte down to 10 men, haven't seen the bulk of possession of the ball, yet able to come away with a positive result. Bethlehem are playing against a team similar to them in terms of league position, haven't won a game away from home all season. They're down to 10 men. You know, this would really be a poor result for Bethlehem.
And the referee will issue a yellow card to Axel Picasso. Didn't seem like he wanted to have a conversation with the referee there.
Ladies and gentlemen, yellow card caution has been issued to the Steelers number 59, Axel Picasso. That caution occurs in the 69th minute.
So Picasso into the book.
In terms of Coach Jeffries, you know, I don't think from a character standpoint of what he'd asked for his players, I don't think he could have asked much more from them. They've gone out there, they've given it all their best, they competed. You know, I think the last thing he would have wanted to see is that at this stage of the season, the players just gave up. You know, I think they've gone out and they've displayed themselves with, they've given themselves something to be proud of in the closing stage of the season.
Expecting a sub here from Bethlehem here momentarily. In the meantime, they look to build forward. There's Picasso looking to pick out a pass, looking for Chambers. Zandy. This will be called a foul against Zach Zandy. Might get that substitution here.
Steele first substitution. Now leaving the match, number 39, Shivani Willis.
I had Diaz to come on, the Panamanian.
Entering the match, number 36.
Will be Shivani Willis to come off.
Substitution occurs in the 71st minute.
Diaz was called up to the Panamanian side for the U20 World Cup. His debut back in March at Birmingham Legion. It's the opening match of the season for Bethlehem.
Diaz has gone, looks like he's going to play on the left side of the field and see if he can offer some kind of offensive spark to this team.
Seems to be more of an attack-minded substitution, bringing off Willis, who is in the middle of the field for Bethlehem tonight.
Good closing down in the middle of the park there from Martinez.
So Martinez looking to play it wide for Herrera. Now it's a foot race for the ball.
They've just not quite been on the same page as you would have liked to see Martinez and Herrera tonight. Herrera was making the run inside. Martinez played the pass for him on the outside. Fantastic attitude from Herrera anyhow. All he did is just put his head down, turn around and chased it, but just unable to connect with that killer through pass.
Aerial challenge, and Sally was up for it. Looks like that is Diaz, and Mansally will go into the book.
Yeah, just be careful. You see Sally there putting your hands on the referee. You see the referee kind of gave him a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, the yellow card caution has been issued to Charlotte's number 29, Abdul Mansally. Caution occurred in the 72nd minute.
That was Ferris going up for that.
It's like he may have just been caught with an elbow in the back of the head, but nothing malicious. Mansally has his eyes on the ball the whole time. I don't think he goes out with any intent to hurt Ferris whatsoever. Just a little bit unfortunate.
Now a goal kick here for Charlotte. Fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL and ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce the Championship and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Cortez gets taken down, but will just be a throw-in.
Now you sense just a little bit more urgency from Bethlehem, especially from Cortez out on that left side.
Go through the middle for Ferris. Switch to the field here for Bizo. Taken away. There's Armin.
It's been a good defensive display from Charlotte so far in this game from all the players on the field. Herrera has been fantastic closing down in the top. Martinez, who's not so much of a natural, 6 or 8 midfielder. He's more of a number 10. Has done a good job stepping in there in the middle of the park with Bocanegra. And at the back, both Mansally, Mound and Roberts have been fantastic.
We'll look at the foul coming from behind Galena. Ron will send this way upfield looking for Oduro. Cortez got his head to it. Bethlehem can come back the other way. Can they find an equalizer into the final quarter of an hour here from Chester?
That's the problem. When you're a man down and you play those long balls, you don't have those bodies there to pick up the second ball when you don't win it.
Now it's Miller dribbling the ball around in his own box for a moment.
Miller holding onto the ball almost 12, 13, 14 seconds. They're draining the clock as long as he can.
Is it the rule 6?
The rule was 6 seconds.
It's the two center backs that have the goals tonight for Charlotte Independence. Roberts and Aaron Mond.
A lot of needless giveaways for Bethlehem here in terms of their passing in the past 5 minutes. They have the man advantage. They should be able to maintain possession a lot better than they're displaying here.
Chambers just a little bit too high there for Cortez. Of course, Charlotte can take their time to put this back in play.
Yeah, they'll be in no rush. Charlotte can come to Bethlehem and steal 3 points. I think Coach Jeffries will be ecstatic. Like what I did there, right? Bethlehem steal, Charlotte steal.
Pretty good, pretty good. This is knocked out of play, trying to put together a win streak. They won 2 straight. The last time they won a game against Pittsburgh and St. Louis, that was all the way back in July, so their wins must come in bunches. Here's Oduro.
Martinez doing a good job to win the ball there. I think a few players stopped thinking the referee was going to blow for a free kick, but he didn't. Allowed play to continue.
This will be whistled for a free kick for Charlotte once again. A similar position in which the second goal was scored for the Independents.
Yeah, I think we'll see both Mound and Roberts head up again to attack this ball. You can hear the Bethlehem still coaching staff on this occasion screaming out to the players, telling them to get tight and mark tight, which is something they were guilty of a previous set piece, allowing Roberts to be free.
The service again. Sent towards that back post. Headed all the way through. Roberts was there. It almost set up for a deja vu moment, but just a little bit too wide here from the center back.
And this one may have been even easier for him to attack. Fantastic delivery again from Mansali. The ball's directly in front of him. All he has to do is connect with his head. He looks away at the last moment. The ball actually comes off his shoulder and goes out for a goal kick. That header was probably easier than the one he converted earlier on in the game.
It was nearly the same result as we just saw a few minutes ago. Roberts just a little bit wide on that attempt. He's out for a throw-in. We are awaiting a substitution, and we will get it here. It will be Nikki Jackson to come on. It will just be a switch up top with Herrera coming off. Nikki Jackson has 4 goals and an assist this season, will enter making his 21st appearance here in the 2019 campaign. It's the 3rd and final sub tonight for Mike Jeffries and Charlotte.
Yeah, Jackson just coming on to provide some fresh legs up top. Spent some time in the MLS with the Colorado Rapids, 23 years of age.
Charlotte look to play out here again. Bocanegra going down right in the middle.
Chambers, obviously one of the most experienced players on this Bethlehem team, 32 years of age.
will put this back in play. Just one win for Bethlehem this season when they have been trailing after 75 minutes. Also just one tie. 4 points out of those opportunities.
Leaving the match, number 59, Axel Picasso. Entering the match, number 43, Steve.
Here is a substitution coming on. Picasso will come out while Steve Kingay will come on. His last match he played was at Indianapolis in Indy 11 a few weeks ago. He comes in. He started that match, played just 45 minutes. This is his 12th appearance on the season. He is the second sub of the match.
2 offensive changes here for Bethlehem. And of course, there's one thing, the goals and ambitions of the team is development and pushing players into the senior team. It's completely another thing when you're at home in front of your home fans, the other team's down to 10 men, and you're unable to capitalize upon that, and you in fact lose again. You know, there's a balance, you know, that I'm pretty certain the organization may have between, you know, being competitive and competing and the development standpoint. This is a game for sure that Bethlehem should have been able to get a result from.
Right now it's looking rather bleak with just 9 minutes to go. Down a goal to a 10-man Charlotte Independence. There's Jackson. Played in the middle for Armin. Armin gets taken down. This will be a free kick. I think that's Steve Kingay, who just came on moments ago. And he will see himself into the book.
First contribution to the game is a yellow card in a very, very threatening area. I think you may see the lines of Martinez step up to this set piece.
Caution occurs in the 82nd minute.
Kingay into the book. As you said, it's really the first time he's been around the ball.
I don't think he can have any arguments about that.
That's the ref on the back, and he'll get ready to defend this set piece.
Really interesting, he takes responsibility for this one. It doesn't look like it's going to be Martinez. Got Bocanegra over the ball, Jackson over the ball.
And Sally there as well.
Sally fancies himself. I think they did rock, paper, scissors. Bocanegra lost. It looks like he's gone back.
So it will be Jackson or Mansali, a 5-man wall here for Bethlehem. Let me test Matt Freeze in goal. And Sally will go for goal. It's off the crossbar. It wasn't too far away. Freeze did not get a touch to it. A dangerous attempt.
Caught everybody off guard with the short run-up. But in line with his deliveries all night. Another dangerous set piece from Mansali.
Provided really good service tonight. He had the assist on the second goal of the night for Charlotte, and he nearly had a second assist just a few minutes ago when it was Roberts again who nearly headed in off a set piece. This will go out for a throw-in.
Strong tackle there from Dimmick.
Go back to the free kick a moment ago. You said it wasn't a long run-up.
1 inch lower, and that nestles into the back of the net. The keeper does well to get there, but I don't think he's getting there had it been slightly lower. Fantastic effort there from Mansali.
Charlotte throw-in coming, but the referee will slow things down. Matthew France trying to gain control over this match right now.
Cortez, I think, upset with the challenge from Dimmick, which I thought was actually a very good tackle. Timed it well. Ended up winning possession of the ball for his team. And just 6 minutes remaining. Charlotte will be in no rush to get this ball back into play. They'll want to clear upfield. They want to time waste as much as they can. This stoppages from Bethlehem will actually work in favor of Charlotte.
Knocked forward for Jackson. Gets pushed from behind. Jackson still on the ground.
Needless free kick to give away there. I think they should do a new statistic for pointless possession, because we're seeing so many games that we're watching where teams outpossess but lose, or teams possess the ball and they don't create goal scoring opportunities and get outshot, outnumbered for goal scoring creating chances. So, I think there's one thing. Possession, I think, is completely different when you're able to possess and create numerous goal scoring opportunities.
I was talking to a coach a few weeks ago, and he said that they should adopt the old MLS possession stat where once you advance past midfield, that's when the possession clock starts.
I would agree to that to a certain degree. I also think it's important the stage of the game. If you're winning 3-0, then it doesn't really matter where you possess the ball, because you're in control of the game, you're in control of the scoreline. But there's a difference when you're possessing, you're not creating goal scoring opportunities, but the other team's creating goal scoring opportunities and also winning the game.
Over the top, here's an opportunity into the box. Ferris on the turn, looking to cross, and Bond was there to clear it away.
I think if you ask any of the coaches in the league, it's what they do with their possession that matters most. They don't just want to win the possession stat and say, we outpossess them. It's what you do with your possession that is the most important thing.
A lot of people start to look at possession these days and say it really doesn't mean a whole lot unless, like you said, you are winning on the score sheet, which is the only stat that matters at the end of the day.
Of course, most of that is coaches emulating the Guardiola style. But if you look at the Guardiola style, his teams create so many goal-scoring opportunities and win by so many goals. They're not just winning the possession battle; they're dominating almost in every statistic that the game has. So,
Galena, head for Kingay, and for Bizo, taken away. Maybe an opportunity here for Charlotte to get forward again. Armin trying to switch it all the way into the middle. Jackson making the run. Jackson trying to put it away. It's saved by Freeze.
And he should have put that away. Fantastic counter-attack play there from Charlotte. And it all comes off the back of a needless giveaway from Bethlehem in the attacking third.
Really does not seem like Charlotte is down a man. Ball played over the top. Once again, Charlotte able to get a touch on it to clear it away.
Nice play there from Chambers in the middle. Controls the ball with the outside of his foot, then hits a 30-yard pass on the half volley.
Bocanegra now for Armin. Once again sends it forward. And Freeze will have to come out and claim this. Time really starting to run thin on Bethlehem. Just about 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. One last gaps here for Bethlehem.
Two minutes to go in the game, and Bethlehem is still passing the ball sideways and backwards.
Kingay.
Fantastic, fantastic from Charlotte. Just discipline, staying disciplined and organised, picking the right moment to make the challenge and win the ball. Here they go again, trying to counter-attack.
Armin, and they've been dangerous on the counter-attack.
You have to give Charlotte credit for how they've approached this game since they've gone down to 10 men.
Bocanegra gets fouled from behind. Galena commits the infraction. Be another set piece for Charlotte Independence.
That just epitomizes the frustration that Bethlehem will be experiencing. It's a completely needless foul. Smart play from Charlotte now. They're just using their experience, draining every little second of the clock that they can. They're going to potentially, still a little bit of time remaining, potentially could get their first win away from home all season with 10 men.
That would be a mighty impressive feat for Mike Jeffrey's side. In the meantime, a water break. while Bocanegra is being attended to.
And you have to give the defenders for Charlotte credit. You know, they've been very good at the back for Charlotte tonight, but they've also been the best ones in the offensive third, getting on the score sheet, both Mount and Roberts, from set-piece deliveries from Mansali. So it's most certainly been an outstanding night for the defenders for Charlotte.
Bocanegra will have to come off for just a moment until he gets brought back on. Charlotte down to 9 men. We are in the stoppage time now.
And you can see that the defenders are not coming up forward for this one. Mansali is left alone with Jackson and Aduro to aim for. Looking to hit the diagonal towards the corner.
Taken right back by Bethlehem.
And he would have been better off over-hitting that rather than under-hitting it, because he's allowed Bethlehem now to break on the counter-attack.
Slip it through for Galena. Just a little bit too far.
The pass wasn't that great, and Miller was able to regain possession.
We have 3 minutes of stoppage time. We're about a minute into it already. Here's Bizo. They find an equalizer. Still Bizo.
Good work there from Martinez, tracking back. Jackson doing a good job of just using his body to win a free kick for his team. Completely slow down the clock.
Fans of the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. A free kick here for Charlotte. They're just looking to take some more time off this clock. Here's Ferris charging forward. Going to find Galena.
Good defending again from Charlotte.
Knocked forward again. Cole Turner, not too much time left to go. Here's Chambers trying to provide some service into the box. Into the middle, it's brought down. Eventually cleared away.
Yeah, Charlotte just have to be careful of dropping off too deep and allowing Bethlehem to pump balls into their box, but Miller does well to come and claim that one.
Miller off his line. He might have bumped into his own defender, but that might see Charlotte to the finish line here tonight.
You have to give them credit. You know, they didn't give up despite going down to 10 men. Silly decision from Martinez, put his team in a compromised position, but they rose to the occasion and battled back to get their first away victory of the season.
I'm just awaiting the final whistle here from Matthew Franz. So time for one more attack. Looks like there is. We had a stoppage right at the beginning of stoppage time. Maybe one more chance here for Bethlehem, and they give it right away. That's a foul, giving it back to Charlotte.
I think Bethlehem only have themselves to blame. They had the man advantage, they've had the possession, but they've just not done anything with it. The passing's been not the standard it should have been. The tempo of play hasn't quite been as you'd expect for a team that had the advantage, and Charlotte have done what's necessary to get the points.
And there is the final whistle, the first away win for Mike Jeffries and Charlotte Independence here in 2019. A 2-1 win here in Chester over Bethlehem Steel. A well-earned victory for this side, and Hugh Roberts, Aaron Bond, the goal scorers tonight.
Starting here. Stay tuned for date, time, and opponent information as you leave. Please
long night of soccer comes to a close, and it is now 2 losses for the Union and the Bethlehem Steel here today, and Bethlehem with that loss now officially eliminated from playoff contention.
And they only have themselves to blame that, you know, everything was in their favor. Their own performance tonight put themselves out of playoff contention.
Final handshakes here, and a good win for Charlotte Independence. It moves them up over the 30-point mark to 32 points, while Bethlehem will stay still at 30 points. Let's take a look at the full-time highlights tonight from Chester, and it started early on with some goals, and right off the bat it was Chad Porch who eventually got subbed off. He had the first opportunity.
Nice ball down the line. Porch gets onto it, but just a first touch was a little bit too heavy. Keeper comes out and claims it.
And here was the goal. It was Aaron Mond scoring his 2nd goal in the season.
Should have been a straightforward catch for the goalkeeper, but he found himself blocked. Mound, easiest header he'll probably score in his career.
And then on the other end, this was just a few minutes after a penalty awarded to Bethlehem, and then Ferris would step up and he just slotted home.
Dubious penalty decision, but Ferris converted, put this one into the back of the net. Miller probably should have done a little bit better.
And then the red card, really when the game started to change, but Alex Martinez, anytime you do that, you'll see that.
Yeah, Martinez, the silly decision. Headbutt, red card, put his team down to 10 men for the remainder of the game.
And on the other end, a big block by Aaron Mond, probably preventing a goal, and there will be more opportunities for Charlotte Independence. This time Jorge Herrera getting on it. Matt Freese making the save, and this was the 2nd goal, and what a beauty of a free kick that was.
And Sally, fantastic delivery into the box. Defender attacks it, glances into the bottom corner. They enjoyed that one, Charlotte.
And a free kick by Mansali again, and this rattling the crossbar. Beautifully taken by the left back, and this is all with Charlotte with 10 men, and this was really the story of the game as Jackson got out on the counter and had a shot saved by Freese, but really just Bethlehem unable to use that man advantage tonight.
Great touch there from Jackson. Bullies Cortez to the ground, controls it on his chest. Probably should have put that one into the back of the net.
And Bethlehem, they do have that possession advantage. The shots were pretty even, but in the end, the Charlotte Independence, their first road win of the season, a 2-1 win here tonight. So as we wrap things up here from Chester, Pennsylvania, it is a good night for Charlotte Independence and a happy trip back to Charlotte. So it's full time here from Talon Energy Stadium. For our entire crew, for broadcast partner Chris Nurse, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long from Talon Energy Stadium, where it finishes Bethlehem Steel 1 and Charlotte Independence 2.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.